Bonsoir, babou, ça va? Ça va bien, et tout? J'ai parlé en français un peu. Très un peu. Hey everybody, we're back with our 2023 predictions for the year. We're in our month-by-month playlist, and we are here looking ahead at the month of July. And so I found it for the last several years very helpful to myself early in the year to take a month-by-month look ahead to see sort of what the general timeline or outline, like a story of the year will be, to get a kind of a story arc. And so it gives me a sense of direction and broad strokes about themes that, we'll be working with. So for July, we'll be working with the prayer. So in June, our archetypal energy was the offering, was what we were offering up. In July, it's going to be important to remember our prayer practice. And I was listening to one of my Kabbalah 5 classes today, and my teacher David was bringing up something that was actually relevant to something I'd already been thinking about. And I've been trying to remember, and I've been talking a lot on this channel about speaking prayers out loud, how powerful our mouth is, and how powerful that portal is, because it's a portal of life and death. We have to feed ourselves through our mouth. Our words have the power to put life or death on things. So we think that we pray a lot because we think we're thinking our prayers and feeling our prayers to the Creator. But what David pointed out, which I always forget about, is that it doesn't count unless we say it out loud. We are a physical creation of the Creator, and we are a mirror image of the Creator. And so the Creator, in His pleasure, created us in the physical realm to be a physical expression. Well, we can't communicate. The Creator's love language is for us to make a physical, communicative offering and prayer, right? So we connect through our voice in prayer, through our what we put our hand to, we put our hearts to. We connect in different ways, but prayer is really powerful when we pray out loud. And we need to make a regular practice of that during our day whenever we can. It's like, instead of just thinking these things in our mind, we have to go against our body consciousness to be comfortable and to reach for instant gratification and to be lazy and to just push ourselves to start speaking out loud, which is an awkward feeling. It's the same feeling I had to get over when I started making these videos. I just had to press record and start talking in a room to a phone, and it actually became really easy after the first initial weirdness of it. Now it just feels natural. So I need to remind myself on a daily basis, and apparently it's going to be really powerful for us in July, to speak our prayers out loud to the Creator and pray in a state of certainty. You're not wishy-washy, you're not indecisive, you're not taking it back, or like, maybe I can. You're assertive, you're decided, you're of one mind, you're clear, and you are praying confidently and expectantly and with gratitude and joy, because you know in that certainty that you are already one with this thing, and that if it's meant to be for you, and if it will bring you any fulfillment at all, then it's already yours and it's on the way. And if it's going to be a fiasco and a disaster and it's going to be bad for you, then it's not going to come. Just let it go. Very powerful. Let us read La Prière, because if I were by myself right now, I would, for me, and this is kind of my yearly month-by-month look too. So the selves first, and then the tools. Sorry, I know this is annoying. Too bad, ha ha ha. Sometimes I start looking and I forget the card that I'm looking for, and I'm like, oh shit, did I pass it? Oh, there it is. Okay. The exposure to be good so you can see the color. Okay. The worship, the reverence, the homage. What is prayer? When are we in a state of prayer and when are we not? To whom or to what do we pray? Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self. Hold on. Archetypally, the practice of prayer has been with us since the dawn of time as a remedy for the omnipresent self-centered thinking that spins us toward illusion. Prayer leads us beyond our ego as we move from our little story to the big one. Some say we are in a state of prayer anytime we are not the center of our own thoughts. Others say prayer is a natural result of gratitude. Perhaps it is simply surrender or service. Whatever prayer is for you, this card reminds us of its importance. Get quiet, low, humble, and soft. Bow and touch the ground as your heart lifts to the sky. Though it may be uncomfortable, it is time. Nothing else will do. So a good way to avoid chaos is just to proactively connect with the Creator. So the Creator doesn't have to send you reasons to want to connect with the Creator. So, don't make it harder on yourself. Just proactively connect with the Creator, at all times. When light, this energy, is offering to be of service or asking for guidance. When dark, expecting results, self-aggrandizement. To go deeper, ask to be of service. Experiment with the act of bowing down. Nearly all spiritual traditions make a practice of prostration. Every song, kiss, breath, word can be a prayer. It is a feeling, not an action. Well, I just beg to differ, just because of our former conversation just now, but I know what she's meaning, Consider the ancient mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. I bow to the creative consciousness within. I bow to the teacher within. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Awesome. All right, let's see from the Goddess Power Oracle, what is our divine feminine energy that we should connect with for support this month? Or what divine power should we embody, let's say, as we move through the month of July? Isis, rebirth. I love this. That makes total sense because in June, towards the end of the reading, we had judgment and we had the sun. It was all about death and rebirth and renewal. And so this month, we are continuing into that, on that theme of rebirth, right? Isis resurrected her lover brother Horus through her passion and love for him. She had the power of resurrection within her, or the archetypal figure in the legend. And so again, June was going to be a month of divine feminine power, and so I think it's going to continue in with July, especially with saying our prayers out loud, speaking those, and then receiving that, and then allowing that prayer to help us be reborn, to help us be renewed, to help us reinvent. As this new life, this new version of ourselves kicks off, this whole year is going to be new beginnings themes, right? Last year we were blue in the face with the whole endings and liminal space and making way for the new and purge. So this year it's going to be all about getting off to a good start. And so there's going to be these phases to getting off to that start throughout the year. We're going to be going through these mini little trials of initiation, and it's going to be like these little deaths and rebirths, because we're solidifying our new self, right? And so we're dying away to the old self, and we've already let go of so much of it. It's just that now the ephemeral layers are burning off, right? And we're becoming solid in the new. Let's read. The process of soul retrieval, resurrection, and rebirth is a theme current throughout the stories of the Egyptian goddess Isis, and one that she invites you to address now. This is a powerful moment to see some of what you thought you'd lost go through a process of regeneration to live again. Interesting. Don't you remember the whole stormy, mood of April and May and June was this trial of getting something that we've been wanting, being tested, because the fulfillment of the manifestation hasn't come quite to fulfillment yet, right? Like, we may have manifested the appearance of the manifestation, but the real fulfillment hasn't happened yet. So maybe it's iffy, or it's not solid, right? Maybe it goes through an initiation of its own. And so it's something that we may have thought we lost, because part of the process is that we're going to have to give it over to divine and really surrender it. And if we really do that, it might come back, right? Or a different form, right? It may not be that vessel. We may not get that version of that vessel, but it will be some compensation that is going to be even more fulfilling, right? Because we had put all of that hope and effort and love and devotion into something that was, in alignment with maybe, a divine plan, right? Divine was in it, and he's going to turn things around for you. So, the process of soul retrieval, resurrection, and rebirth is the theme recurrent throughout stories of the Egyptian goddess Isis, and one that she invites you to address now. This is a powerful moment to see some of what you think you'd lost go through a process of regeneration to live again. It's like mushrooms. It's like they're taking what is dead and repurposing what's left, what's still useful. Like magic, the pieces of you that were considered lost and old wounds and old stories are ready to be reclaimed in a healthier, more mature version. Where you were hopeless, now there is hope. Where you lost faith, you have the capacity for even more now. Where there was iniquity and injustice, now you can see a better way. Where you were abandoned, now you can choose. Where you were abandoned, now you can choose you. You are ready to face these parts of yourself and to gather them together as you step into a newer, more powerful version of yourself. Your work, your relationships, and your creativity. Have courage. Let go of blame, claim your accountability, and then co-create something better. You can do this. The goddess Isis has come to help you as a potent supporter in your growth. Okay, so regardless of whether you had to let go of something and it's coming back, or whether that is gone, know something is coming for you. And you will be honored for your work and your sacrifice. And rebirth is imminent, okay? So don't lose hope. Who is going to be our animal messenger for July? Ooh, okay, who's that? Oh, hyena. Oh my goodness. I feel like hyena is kind of an intense little guy. I can't remember exactly. He's a fire sign. like it's something that's almost taunting. Oh my God. Okay, so did I show y'all Isis before? Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Hyena, humor, wit, sarcasm. You know, in many times of my life, I find that it's in the hardest times that my humor has gotten me through it. And call it a defense mechanism, but I mean, it's been my greatest resource. And I always think it'd be so funny if in the end, like my whole purpose was to maybe be a stand-up comic. And nothing is gonna work out for me until I'm a stand-up comedian. Okay, hyena, humor, wit, sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser. But below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. Are you using jokes to hide old resentments in relationships, or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? When in balance, charming, witty, and fun to be around. When out of balance, scrappy, petty, suspicious. To bring into balance, sobriety. So yeah, pay attention to yourself in July. And if you find yourself being facetious about things or overly sarcastic, it's like maybe look under that to see what you're really protecting, what you're really avoiding, or what you're really trying to soften the harsh reality of, maybe. Interesting. I'm recording like a couple of videos back to back today for this predictions list, and I'm getting over a cold and it's February. And so my throat is itchy and it wants to cough. So I have to get up and get a cough drop. Oh, Six of Pentacles. Okay. So we're praying for something that gives as much as we put in. And I think our prayers are being answered, but it's not without having had come through a long process. And so there may still be some tests leading up until, you know, the middle of the summer. I feel like I saw some prediction about summer, and it seemed like there was going to be some kind of heartbreak or disappointment. So maybe you had a romance happening in the spring, or maybe something that you thought didn't work out, came back around and you thought was going to work out, and maybe it didn't. Maybe there was an opportunity that you thought was like your big break, and you thought it was going to go well, and it was kind of a struggle from the start, and then it's just like finally letting it go and realizing that there's something better for you out there that is going to give you the same value that you're putting in. And then maybe something's not totally lost. Maybe it's just something is finally coming into balance for you that's going to be able to return what you're giving. But I have a feeling that part of the initiation is for you to have to set that boundary for yourself and to walk away from things that aren't serving your highest good and that aren't giving an equal give and take. But I think that because also what comes with the Six of Pentacles, it's about equal give and take, but sometimes it's about an unexpected windfall coming in or a gift that you didn't see coming. And so if we just come through a lot of difficult tests that we've moved through and we've passed them, but not without some taking some hits, it's like maybe, you know, something's coming. Something special is coming to compensate us for that. Something is still set aside, but we can't get in crustiness or else we'll attract chaos and we have to go through a process to correct that. So instead of getting into a low vibration and having to go through a cycle of recorrecting our vibration because we get bogged down and then things start going poorly. Don't wait for it to get that far along. Watch the triggers. Instead of waiting for triggers, watch for your sarcasm. You know, pay attention to that. But also try to lighten up with life and not take everything so heavily either. But also pay attention to not taking things seriously enough. Because I learned in Kabbalah class today that there's an angel of silliness that interferes. It's a negative angel. And it makes you not take certain things that are meaningful to you as seriously as you should. Okay, we've got Hermit. And we have Page of Cups. So we're going to be going inward. And like the Page of Cups is sensitive. They're caring. They're a good listener. The Page of Cups is, you know, maybe someone that people go to for advice. They're creative. They're very gentle. So I think that, the Emperor. Okay. So we may be taking a moment of like sacred solitude to turn inward and to reflect on all of these things that we've just been walking through and learning from. And we may need to just take some time alone for planned conscious solitude. There's going to be wisdom and light that come from this situation. And your inner wisdom is going to guide you back to your true north, where love radiates, where love is calling you. But you just need to be quiet and let yourself go through the process of death and rebirth. There also may be a hermit or a fellow hermit that makes an offer or an invitation, extends like an invitation or something. And because the Page of Cups is here. And so this inner self-reflection is going to enhance your Page of Cups, where it's going to help you feel sweet and young and not jaded and willing to go through this and still keep that vulnerability and that authenticity and that sensitivity about you. Keep that youthful innocence. And it's not like naivete, but it's wise, it's guarded, it's protected, you know. But you know how to put the boundaries up to make it safe for you to keep that openness. And, you know, be optimistic and be sensitive and be understanding towards others. But I think that this reflection is going to give you a surge of creativity too, but it's going to help you feel like you can trust your own insight more and your own intuition. And then you're going to feel a lot stronger and you're going to have more of a grip on your reality. It's going to give you a sense of stability and security within yourself. But also with the Emperor comes the shadow of being overly domineering or controlling, or feeling like it's your way or the highway. Being stubborn, stiff-necked, you know, hard. The Emperor can be kind of hard-hearted, self-serving, you know, and no matter, you know, at any cost, right? So be careful of the harshness of the Emperor within yourself, but also there could be a hermit with Emperor tendencies as well. That could have been someone present in some of these things playing out over, you know, these weeks and months. And they might resurface or something, and you might have to, it might be like tempting, right? You're gonna have to be strong and turn inward and really think, like, is this an equal give and take situation, or is this just another test for a pattern to play out? So you need to pray about it and pray out loud. And ask like the Christ, Jesus, to help you through it, to give you clarity, to be like the guard, like the garter of your heart. The gardener and the garter. But yeah, pay attention to even a person that comes in that like is making light of you and kind of making like jokes and making it like it's like no big deal, but they're kind of being mean. They're kind of being a mean emperor, and they're being like sarcastic towards you. It's like their defense mechanism. Pay attention. Don't let them talk to you like that. And also see that behavior is going to be, it's manipulative, because they want to put you down so that they can feel like you're subservient, like they're above you. Don't let, if somebody comes in like with that kind of energy, don't be having any of it. All right, let's get some clarification cards from my own straightforward oracle deck. Okay, oh, let go of control. Emperor, right? Emperor issues, let go of control. Say your prayer. Give it to the universe, give it to God, give it to Jesus, and then open yourself up to receive, right? That equal relationship. You pray, you sit and you're in stillness and you're open to receiving, you're in meditation. But in order to, you gotta pray, you gotta surrender your prayer, you gotta let it go with faith. You can't keep holding on to control, because then the prayer, like, it can't leave you to go do its thing. So let go of control. Trust that God is working in any given situation. You can, by putting your attention and awareness on the fact that the Creator is in every single thing, it's like you activate it in every single thing. The Creator is in this piece of Amazonite. So I activate this piece of Amazonite to do its little thing, to be its little stone crystal vitamin for me. No big deal. So I'm just going to read the front of this. This seems so much worse than it is. You've built this up in your mind. The worry around this has taken a life of its own. Don't let it grow into a self-fulfilling prophecy. Nip it in the bud. If you don't make it a big deal, then it won't be. Not as significant as you are making it out to be. Listen, listen, listen. Everything is fine. You've been in a fog of fear, lack, doubt, and illusion that descended on you faster than you could see coming. You've worked yourself up into a frenzy, and your imagination has gone on a bender with your negative, self-defeating assumptions. Now you are spiraling in paranoia, fear, and self-pity, despair, and hopelessness. Snap out of it! This is not that big of a deal. It might all be in your head. And remember that what is in our head manifests as thoughts, feelings, moods, words, actions, and patterns. So be mindful of what you allow in your head. Placebos can work both ways. Assume that everything is playing out for your biggest win. Assume things are falling into place and working out, and it's only a matter of time before it's this, and if not this, something better, more aligned and greater. All right, it's not this, it's something greater, so no big deal. Don't make a big deal about it, and it won't be. But like, being worked up around the situation is going to cause more chaos. Trust your gut. So the Page of Cups comes with this offer or this little message, and I mean, it's cups, so it's emotional, and it's coming in the context of a more personal relationship, right? So it could be flirtatious, it could be romantic, and you're going to have to trust your gut on the situation, because your mind is already going out of control because of some of the things that have surfaced that are reminding you of patterns. And so you've got to discern and trust where your gut is leading you and what it's telling you, and stop second guessing yourself. Okay. Also, the more certain you are and the more clear your gut is of its conditioning and patterning, and the more you trust Creator, like either way, no matter what happens, you can relax in certainty. And you're not feeling like you're needy or reaching for anything. And so your gut is less corrupted by desire, longing, and craving. Ooh, okay. It's time to juggle. Okay, so that's very Two of Pentacles-y. Peace and release. Peace and release the situation. Acceptance, surrender to whatever is happening. But whatever is happening right now, you're going to have to juggle. There's more than one thing going on in your life. And so you're going to have to task juggle. And if this is all emotionally upsetting, then it's going to get in the way of your other stuff. And you don't want this to cause a hairball. I think that when one area of your life starts causing stress and chaos, it starts bleeding into the others. So whatever is happening now, and I have a feeling that this is all taking place in a personal relationship, probably romantic. I think that we need to maintain a sense of peace and surrender with it, because that's the lesson. That's what we're being asked to learn, is the peace and the surrender and the acceptance no matter what, and the confidence and the light that this or something better, it doesn't matter. Because we need to be able to maintain our high vibration to maintain the success that's starting to happen in our goals. If we let ourselves get out of whack and off the rails in our vibration in our romantic life, it takes a dent, and our self-worth is taking a dent, and that affects our money as well. It's like that same area of energy governs both. So we don't want to get locked up in either. So we need to trust, and we need to trust our gut, and we need to stay in a state of peace and release, right? We don't need a thing. We don't have to reach for a thing. We've made a bigger deal of it than it is. So no worries. It'll all work itself out. It always does. They always come back. Just like Jason and Friday the 13th. Okay, who's our animal? Who's our bird? Ooh, owl! Oh my God, I love owl. I always have owls around. There are always owls hooting and hollering and following me and sitting around where I am, leaving me feathers that I don't pick up because I'm not supposed to. Okay. All right. Owl. I am owl. I am the silence of the night. I am the arrival of mysterious things. I am the revealer of hidden tracks beneath the snow and the ghost within the psyche. This is an inside joke between me and myself. Don't worry about it. I am the unsettling of darkness. I am the goddess of death. At times, oh my God, Isis, death and rebirth. At times you cannot see me, but I permeate all worlds. My hunting grounds are the soul. You are a skilled listener. You are a well-seasoned traveler of realities. I have been watching your movements and tracking your steps. You are beginning to see beyond the veil and crack the illusions of night. But you must be vigilant and watch your steps in the blackness. Take the quiet road and guard your inner world with determined purpose. There is a vast trove of power that will guide you well as you soar into the cosmos. But before you boast of your new winged ally, realize that I am no bringer of easy roads. Well, that's right. My path is lonely and requires retreat into the forests of the mind. This is where all awareness begins and where all experience comes home to fulfill its purpose. You are a sober night vision. You are a master of the shadows. You are at ease in solitude. You are owl. You are at ease in solitude, hermit, or owl. God, my little feathers. All right, you guys, I feel like July is going to be good. I feel like we need to hold on to that truth and certainty in the light of the Creator that is in all things, and just activate it within all things out loud with our voice, with our prayers. Pray from your heart. When the heart is broken open, it's more powerful than ever, especially in prayer. All right, you guys, Godspeed out there. Happy July. Ciao.